broadcasting live on Theta TV from Leander, Texas at 6:04 in the morning on Sunday, February 28th, 2021. Just another morning of morning crypto news, and I'm just stoked to be here. And what was I going to say? I don't know. Oh yeah, click the like button and subscribe and all that stuff because it helps the algorithm. Here I am in all my beauty and my morning beauty right here. Let me go ahead and get this camera all set up. Okay, let's take a look at CoinGecko and see what's going on today. We have Bitcoin at $45,486, or $45,470.84, down 4.1% from yesterday. Ethereum at $1,380.62, down 6.1% from yesterday. Cardano, $1.29, down 11.5% from yesterday after it kind of being the explosive grower and kind of the hedger against all this red that we've been seeing in the past few days. Binance Coin down 5% to $218.29. Polkadot down 7.9% to $32.20. XRP down 3.3%. Okay. Litecoin down 6.0% to 164.40. Chainlink down another 4.8% to 24.59. Stellar down 6.5%. So yeah, most of everything has been going down, except this NEM. They've always kind of done weird things over here, I've noticed. And if you look down in the 24-hour changes here, it's just like a sea of red right now. And and same thing with the 7-day. So right now we are definitely in a reset, or a retrace, I guess, is what all the TA heads and stuff like that call it. So apparently it happens. It's not the first time I've seen retraces and lots of red in the crypto market. It's just another day in crypto, and it's funny seeing all these, Bitcoin hit $50,000 and all that stuff, and suddenly you have everybody like, ooh, okay, I'll get and buy some of this Bitcoin. What's this cryptocurrency? So then they see red in the streets, and then they're all fleeing and freaking out, calling it a scam. The usual this is my third time to see any type of real dip in the crypto market. I mean, yes, I've seen the daily dips and stuff like that, but this is my third time to see a real dip. And whatever, buy it up right now. I've done that every time. The first dip I didn't really know any better, and I was just buying cryptocurrency anyway, and I'm really glad I did, because that was the first dip. I mean, I've been in this since 2018, but the first real crash was in March of 2020 that I'd seen, and I was still buying quite a bit of Bitcoin at that time, and I think Bitcoin dropped down to $3,000. It's pretty gnarly. Don't freak out, keep buying. Right now, looks like we have some kind of war going on between Ethereum and Binance Coin. So this has been pretty interesting. Let me take a quick look at this. I don't want to linger too long on this because I don't want to sensationalize some of this stuff going on, but it is worth taking a quick look at. If you'll notice, some devs on Binance Smart Chain created what's called Tanks of Tienanmen, and basically it's just a smart contract that does nothing except for incite controversy by, obviously this is a very sensitive subject to the people of China, and you get to create tanks and send them to Tiananmen Square or whatever, and the tank token. And so there's no interface, no airdrops, meant for free from the contract. Just send it. Little does CZ know that all of you are puppets and are going to use those tanks to inflict more pain. So it's basically some cyberpunks, cypherpunks or whatever, trying to just stir the pot. And a lot of people are blaming Ethereum maxis, and the tribalism is just running rampant right now. And between Yeah, crypto is just rife with tribalism, and I've said it before on some podcasts. Like, we've had the COVID lockdowns and all that stuff, and where people have been bored, and one of the unintended consequences have been for since we haven't been able to watch sports or do any like real sports participation, people have gotten into crypto or stocks, and then as a result, you have this entire short squeezes like the GameStop stuff, the silver squeeze, the AMC short squeeze. You get people jumping into cryptocurrency and people adopting cryptocurrency projects or even stocks for that matter and stuff like that, like sports teams, and really diving in and supporting them. And psychologically, people just have this need to guard their little tribe and their philosophy and their outlook, and they're expressing their philosophies through, in a lot of cases, these cryptocurrency projects. And to a lot of people, Binance represents everything cryptocurrency shouldn't be, which is centralization. The Binance Smart Chain claims to have some decentralization, and these people, in a way, whoever these cypherpunks are trying to push that to the limit by creating something so controversial on here to the Chinese government that we'll see just how decentralized this Binance Smart Chain is, and if they go in and if they censor this and they pull it off. And some of the, I've been reading, and I'm totally guilty of busting out the popcorn and reading through all these comments here. There's just a lot of different opinions. Assuming he agrees with CCP is wrong. Don't effing play the race culture card and pretend like this offends you. And then I feel ETH maxis may regret opening this door. Everybody knows Binance Smart Chain is centralized. So what? CZ takes it down. Who cares? Let's say a BSC fan decides to return the favor. Child porn token is deployed to ETH. Will that go over well on international newscasts? By Grayscale. Bad idea. And that's a very valid point. Ethereum claims to be completely decentralized, but a lot of people say unofficially it is controlled by Vitalik and team. So is it really decentralized? And if they put something like child porn token on there, will that actually be allowed, or will they find some way to take it down? And that brings you back to the whole, Ethereum Classic versus Ethereum, how Ethereum Classic even came into fruition, from that whole debate. And a lot of that is laid out in Camila Russo's book. What was the name of that book? It's, it's going to come to my head. Hold on, let's see. If you really want to learn about the history of Ethereum, the Infinite Machine, let's see here. Infinite Machine. Yeah. So this is a really good book. I have my copy upstairs on my nightstand. I've read it, and it's still sitting there. So it's right here. It goes into that whole thing about the whole idea about Ethereum and it being truly decentralized, or them being able to make a decision on behalf of preservation of people's money in the face of a hacker. And in the same way, back to this could kind of apply if somebody were to put something as inflammatory as child porn token, and then also the same people did something like that. They created something called a slave auction, a slave token, and this is just disgusting. I don't even want to show it, but it's to the point of the conversation. So it just all this challenges decentralization. Stooping to racism and culturally sensitive offense is despicable and should not be tolerated. Two wrongs don't make a right. Make sure ETH can scale. So everybody's blaming the Ethereum maxis for this. I'm not sure who it is, but it's just interesting to see this stuff and see what's going on. And if you're new to the crypto world, welcome. This is it. Lark Davis, I watch his podcast or his YouTube channel quite a bit. He says this is from the same scumbags behind Slavecoin? ? Shocking display here, since this attack is obviously coming from Ethereum maxis. Well, maybe. Zachary Dash said, if all it takes to attack a blockchain is to post morally subjective content projects, the blockchain probably has bigger problems. So yeah, just some interesting stuff to think about. This will definitely test the limits of decentralization, and so we'll see. Interesting. Bust out that popcorn. So yeah, cringe level desperation from ETH maxis. Battle of decentralization. So yeah, Binance certainly doesn't do anything, but it's stupid to do so. Don't forget that Vitalik and ETH survived on the Chinese investment at first. Some of them are descendants of CCP. Some Chinese people understand the value of decentralization and some not. CZ is lying to people and stealing their money, and he deserves to be punished. So it goes on, and somebody said that the CCP are not the same people, not the same as Chinese people, and there are a lot of differing viewpoints. So yes, don't just pigeonhole one. That'd be like I went to Europe, and I've been to Europe several times, but when Bush was in office, and I was like some 20-year-old kid, and every time I told somebody I was from Texas or whatever, they, oh, George Bush, oh, you like Bush? And I'm like, dude, I don't know anything about politics. I'm 20, man. Like, so yeah, just because some country has some despicable politics, don't sit there and assume that person knows anything about those politics going on in their said country or even cares. So, all right, let's move on. That being said about Chinese and decentralization and all that stuff, let's talk a little bit about CBDCs. And I've been seeing a lot of these articles pop up. Venezuela's Maduro says he's planning a digital currency surprise. Venezuela may soon begin development on a digital bolivar. The project is being kept under wraps, but regional experts have had some ideas on what it will be. Nicolas Maduro dropped news of a digital bolivar in the works in Venezuela. The details of the project are not yet known. Regional experts shared with Decrypt a few ideas about what to expect. Nicolas Maduro, Venezuela's disputed president, said yesterday that his team is working on yet another surprise, quote unquote, that is sure to raise eyebrows among cryptocurrency and market observers, a digital bolivar. At the moment, it doesn't appear to have anything directly to do with state-backed cryptocurrency, the petro, but like many of Maduro's early announcements, very little is yet known. It is a surprise that we will announce later, said the president in a public address. I don't know if I would really want to know about any surprises coming from government officials, and especially dictators. I don't want to see surprises coming from governments. I don't want to see surprises coming from establishments. Establishments and governments are not supposed to give surprises. Surprises are supposed to be from your 5-year-old child. It's or from your spouse. They're not. Yeah, no. So it's just kind of interesting what they say here. Fernando Medina, CTO of Vlakahin Tech, okay, told Decrypt that a digital bolivar could very well be a full-fledged central bank digital currency, considering that the petro does not have the status of legal tender. At a constitutional level, the bolivar is the legal tender. I see the digital bolivar as an evolution of the monetary cone that has had so many problems at the level of cash issuance. He said, according to Medina, this wouldn't be the first time such an idea had been floated within the country. Others, however, think a digital bolivar will be used to dollarize the economy in an attempt to gain financial stability. It could be possible to convert the digital dollars handled by the banks and pay with our digital coin with any bank. That's why the government is conducting a first step of opening dollar accounts to be able to capture cash in digital currency and convert it to token back to those dollars. Anyway, Venezuela is basically scrambling around. They're trying to figure out what to do with their currency, their worthless currency right now. But it's a surprise, and we don't know. So that's the point of the article. All right. So here we got Bank of Korea. They're focusing on creating CBDCs as well. All these banks and all these countries are right now working on creating their own CBDCs. Bank of Korea Governor Lee Ju-yol isn't bullish on Bitcoin, but he sees a potential in a central bank digital currency if it's done right. So, yeah. At Thursday's press conference, Lee said China's CBDC pilot will have little impact on South Korea's well-established Yuan-based payment system, but the country has been working on its own CBDC for a while now. Lee announced the Bank of Korea has been exploring a CBDC in 2018, or had been. In 2020, the nation's central bank formed a legal panel to advise on how a digital currency might be launched. Later in the year, the bank announced that a CBDC pilot will take place in late 2021. Earlier this month, the bank published research showing a CBDC can be recognized as a legal fiat currency instead of a virtual asset. So, yeah, this is interesting stuff. No intrinsic value. CoinDesk Korea also reported that at the National Assembly on Tuesday, Lee was somewhat bewildered by the recent Bitcoin price run. It's difficult to understand why the price of Bitcoin is so expensive, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen also warned against cryptocurrency investment, Lee said at the assembly. A cryptocurrency is an asset that has no intrinsic value. So Lee and Janet Yellen, and then you have India and Nigeria, they're cracking down on local crypto markets. Secretary Yellen has repeatedly warned in recent weeks about the use of cryptocurrencies to fund terrorist activities. Lee rejected the classification of crypto assets as currencies, saying they are a kind of commodity. The following year, CoinDesk reported Lee still thought cryptocurrencies are not a legal form of currencies. However, at Tuesday's event, Lee acknowledged the potential reasons for the recent mainstream appeal as Bitcoin as an investment. He quote-unquote says, "As I understand it, the massive Bitcoin rally is the result of various factors such as Tesla CEO Elon Musk's purchase of a massive quantity, investors who see it as a hedge against inflation, and some financial institutions are beginning to offer Bitcoin trading brokerage services," Lee said. Janet Yellen, Lee, India, and Nigeria, and all these people talking so much trash, but then you have something like this. The outage at the Fed delays bank wire transfers, affecting crypto exchanges. So you have all these people saying how no intrinsic value, Bitcoin is terrible, blah, blah, blah. And then you have the Federal Reserve just not functioning, shutting down and not allowing bank transfers through. A Federal Reserve operational error resulted in disruption of service in several business lines. So they're having operational errors. We are restoring services and we are communicating with all Federal Reserve financial services customers about the status of operations. So, yeah. Hey, what's up? Plutkov614. Okay, hey, cool, man. Thanks for tuning in. Let me gift you a little something here. How about one of these? Let's see here. I got an opening day crate for you. Theta TV, what I'm broadcasting on right now, they give you little things as a broadcaster to be able to give away that people tune in and you get to chat to. And I love Theta TV. I think Theta TV has a huge future, and that's why I choose to broadcast here. So I guess I could live stream on YouTube, and I could do the whole restream thing on multiple arenas and different outlets, and I will look at that, but it's just a matter of sitting down and figuring out in time and all that. So but I like Theta TV for now. Anyway, that's the whole thing about CBDCs. My big thing about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, is if you have a digital currency or a digital dollar, how do you know that it is not going to be programmable money? Okay, there's UTXO, which is unspent transaction output, and that is what Bitcoin and Zilliqa and a few others are based on. And then you have the account model, and that's what Ethereum is based on. And UTXO is basically acts like a wallet. If you spend $20, that will be subtracted, and then it'll be given back change in a way. So you will spend 20 if you have to spend. I don't know. It acts like a wallet, and it does act like real money. And where an account model, your public key is associated with a balance, and any transaction adds or subtracts to that balance. Well, if you have programmable money, like some kind of CBDC, who's to say that governments won't use that programmable money to create smart contracts on their CBDCs to determine how, when, why, and where you spend your money? and then they'll be able to completely see every single thing you do. So anybody that doesn't think that CBDCs are a controversial topic doesn't know enough about it. I mean, I'm barely touching the tip of the iceberg here myself and just trying to do my due diligence to figure this out as I go along. So if any of you guys, I mean, I answer my comments, have any input on this stuff or can educate me, I'm all ears, you know, like I want to learn. So that's why I'm here, and that's why I do this broadcast. I even went in here because I've been hearing a lot of people using the words Yuan and Renminbi for Chinese currency, and I was like, what the hell? Do they use the Yuan or do they use the Renminbi? What is the deal? So I found Investopedia, an article that talks about the Yuan versus the Renminbi. They talk about the digital Yuan, digital Renminbi. You know, and right here in China, the CBDC that may one day be, they're just talking about the Chinese CBDC that's going on right now, the Chinese Yuan, the notion of China racing to launch a CBDC that will end in U.S. monetary supremacy doesn't hold up if you look at the facts on the ground, according to Cointelegraph. But I had a hard time understanding the article because they kept on talking about the Yuan, then they would talk about the Renminbi, and you know, basically they're talking about how this digital Renminbi is going to be not necessarily something that's trying to battle against the dollar and all that stuff, but it's going to be more meant to basically oppress their own people. So, so yeah, I mean that's, you know, per standard behavior for the Chinese government. But so anyway, the difference between a Yuan and a Renminbi, this is a little interesting 1-minute video here on this. I'll put this link in my video description. But the dollar has the Federal Reserve note, and then they have, the U.S. has the Federal Reserve note, then they have the dollar. And then China has the Yuan, or the Renminbi, then the Yuan. So the Yuan is like the actual dollar, what they use, you know, at the corner store. You know, the British, they have the British sterling pound, and then they have the pound, and the sterling pound is like the Federal Reserve note. You know, yeah, so, you know, you get it from there. This kind of says it real quick here. I won't spend too much time looking at this, but we'll see here. All right.
China's currency is officially called the renminbi. The yuan is a unit of account, which means the currency is denominated in 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50, or 100 yuan. The paper money also comes in smaller denominations, jiao and fen. 1 yuan equals 10 jiao, which equals 100 fen. For a better idea, any expression of price in the United States is in dollars, not Federal Reserve notes. In China, any expression of price is in yuan, not renminbi. The price of a transaction in China would be 150 yuan. What's important to remember is whether you know it as the yuan or the renminbi, China's currency is set to grow fast and gain importance on the global stage.
All right, so, you know, that's basically that in a nutshell. So, yeah, just always educate yourself. I don't really have any strong opinions about all this CBDC stuff right now because I'm just in education mode, trying to figure out, trying to gain my ground underneath me on it, basically. So, yeah. And then we'll move on to the third topic. I've been going on for 23 minutes, so I'll do a few more minutes. Why is Cardano pumping while other cryptocurrencies are slumping? A lot of people have been, you know, dude, Cardano maxis, like, they just love their Cardano. And it's fine. You know, I don't have any issue. I have some Cardano myself. So people say it's going to be the Ethereum killer. I don't think that there should be any Ethereum killer. I think they should all work together to focus on their specific niches and help each other out, you know. So... you know, we're not going to overtake the dollar by a bunch of divided camps. So everybody needs to work together, not overtake the dollar, but overtake the Federal Reserve and, you know, large institutional money and stuff like that. So that's kind of what I meant, I guess. But decentralization won't take over centralization by jumping in all their own decentralized camps. Basically is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, the ADA token is now the third largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization and ignoring the bearish blues that have hit Bitcoin and Ethereum. In brief, Cardano has increased in price by nearly 600% since the start of the year. It is one of the few top tokens performing well at the moment, and there are two plausible explanations for the upward price movement. The first plausible explanation is the hard forking at the beginning of March, and that's a good thing. After the merry hard fork, Cardano will become a decentralized multi-asset smart contract platform, writes Tim Harrison of IOHK. Translation: smart contracts, decentralized finance, and non-fungible tokens are all coming to the network. It's huge. That may not seem like a huge deal given that Ethereum, the blockchain Cardano is often compared to, has all those things already. But have you seen how high the gas prices on Ethereum have gotten? And that is a thing. Actually, yesterday, the gas prices were really low. I think a lot of people have backed off on using the Ethereum platform right now because they don't want to pay $200 for a transaction, especially if you're trying to do anything on a DeFi platform. And the weight of a lot of those smart contracts on DeFi platforms just drive the cost through the roof. So a second factor could be driving up the price is that this week's news that FD7, a Dubai investment firm, sold $750 million in Bitcoin so it could buy ADA and Polkadot. That's crazy. I can't picture selling Bitcoin to buy Cardano and Polkadot or anything else, honestly. I mean, I'm not a Bitcoin maxi by any means. I love my altcoins. You know, I'm a degen in that way. But yeah, I still have the majority of my holdings in Bitcoin. So yeah, because it is gold and it is the most tried and true and established right now, and that's what all the institutions and big money players are buying. Very few are buying Ethereum and stuff like Cardano and Polkadot, even though they are. And Grayscale has added Theta token to it, Chainlink token, and a bunch of others. And so the institutions are moving into altcoins as well. But for now, Bitcoin is still king. So, and anyway, Cardano, just to give you a little idea of what's going on, there's the Cardano roadmap here. Cardano roadmap is blocked into a bunch of phases, and if any of you don't know, the biggest criticism of Cardano is that it is all talk and no action, and it has been for quite a while. Charles Hoskinson is a master marketer, and he loves to talk and to draw on the whiteboard and to write papers, and that's their main criticism, is all they do is write papers back and forth to each other and they don't actually do anything. Well, they're coming out with this hard fork. They did the Shelley decentralized thing in which they have all these pools which you can stake your Cardano to fully decentralize Cardano, and Cardano is on the way to be completely 100% decentralized very soon, with all the Cardano being put into staking pools. Now they're going to be moving on to smart contracts. And what does this mean? It means exactly what this article said. There will be smart contracts. There will be NFTs. There will be DeFi on Cardano. Finally, all these applications are going to be built that people have said, well, Cardano is just, all talk, no stuff on it. Well, here goes. There's going to be the time, and we will see. This is going to be the moment of reckoning when we see if Cardano is worth its salt. Will this come the new era in March coming with the merry hard fork that allows smart contracts? Will this bring in the developers? And with Ethereum being as expensive as it is to do business on, will this bring and drive a lot of people over to Cardano? And will Cardano finally gain massive adoption the way in which all the Cardano proponents say it will? And will it spike in value as well? And so Goguen has the ability to build decentralized applications on Cardano's solid foundation. So the interesting thing is Cardano is built with a Haskell language, and then they have something called the Marlowe programming language, which is a lot more simplified to allow people to build smart contracts. Then on top of that, they have a graphical user interface called the Blockly interface that allows you to drag and drop. So this is like a super low, easy code right here, Marlowe, for anybody wanting to create a smart contract to use Cardano. And then here, as you can see, it's just a little drag and drop thing that you can just kind of create your own smart contracts for anybody with any type of little business. Say you're a photographer and you want to charge your customers some kind of time allocated payout type of contract for several payments. You can build all this, make a complete automated smart contract out of it, and you don't have to know any code. You can just put in the parts here, has a list of all the different types of blocks you can add in for the different type of actions and stuff. So it's pretty amazing. I did an entire video on Cardano a while back, and I showed this and demonstrated it. I brought up the question about Cardano and Unibright because Unibright is also a graphical user interface that does this type of drag and drop type of stuff. And I wonder if these will be competing in any way. So, or if they're just Unibright is specifically focused on enterprise projects, and Cardano is focused on a lot of other different types of projects, more for the projects for the people and not necessarily just for enterprise. So if they won't even butt heads at all. But it's just interesting stuff, the questions that come to mind. All right, man. That's it. I'm going on 30 minutes now, so I will let you guys be. Let me get this outro started, and it is Sunday. Enjoy the day. Get outside if you can. I think it's going to be raining here, but yeah, be good to people, like I always say. Don't get too emotionally invested in all this maximalism and tribalism going on here. You know, just I need to follow him for some news and stuff like that, and this guy too, Dana. So anyway, yeah. So just take care of yourself, take care of your family. Try not to jump into, just like sports teams. You have fights at ball games and people getting super emotionally invested. Remember, it's life is yeah. Don't take it too seriously. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. All right. And that being said, I'll stop preaching. All right. You guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.